feeling love and joy in everything that I do. And it's just, and I just quit my job a couple months ago, I mean, in May, before I started even working in these. And then I feel free, and I feel happy, and I feel like, okay, something is coming, and I know something amazing is there for me. And right now, my husband has his own business, so I'm kind of helping him. But then my question is, how can you...
Well, here's the answer. So, a lot of people who are feeling discord in their current work, for whatever reason, who feel real freeness for a moment when they leave it, then they are wanting to attract something fast to fill that financial void. And we just want you to consider, nothing's gone wrong, everything's all right, but we want you all to consider, in light of this segment intending getting out ahead of a thing that we've been talking about, what if you were in a job that, while it had many negative aspects, also had some positive aspects? And what if you could find a feeling of security, even if you had to ignore the job altogether to find it? What if you could still find a feeling of well-being in this segment? Not because the segment points to it, but because you want to feel it. Not because the circumstances or conditions are pointing it out to you in a strong way, but because you like feeling like that, and so you're good at finding the feeling place of that. So you're practicing these segments and feeling good while you are in a job that, on the whole, objectively, you don't like that much, but you're not being objective to every positive or negative aspect. You are tuning yourself to the frequency of well-being. So your current job is giving you more and more things that feel good. Not enough of them to stick around forever, but more and more things that feel good. And in the appreciation right where you are, then you move seamlessly into the next, and into the next, and into the next, and into the next. There are endless co-creative experiences that you could call jobs or relationships. It doesn't matter what label you give them. You're never going to stand still. There's always something more. And we just want to say really powerfully, Esther wants to deliver it loudly because she can feel the power that we're wanting to deliver it with, that the happier you are right where you are, the better the next segment's going to be. And humans have it backwards. They keep thinking that if I am happy about being here, the universe will stick me here forever. That's what your mother would do. You tend to think you got to complain. Oh, if the universe gets the idea I'm happy here, then maybe it won't carve out something better. That's not how it works. The happier you are now, the better the next segment will feel to you, and the next, and the next, and the next. So you can move seamlessly from one experience to another without the discomfort of sort of wanting to fill the financial void.
And how do you manage the way that my husband doesn't really believe in what I'm believing right now? So he's like, why are you so happy? We have to pay this and this and this and this. I'm like, I'm actually really literally
Well, his perspective is that everyone tends to do things because they should do them or because they have to do them, because it's sort of the way your society has oriented you. And so there's nothing more annoying than to be still working and doing what you think you have to do while somebody else has stopped doing what they have to do and is happy. That's just annoying. And there isn't anything that you could say that he wouldn't translate, because he can translate rabbits too. There isn't anything that you could be saying, this isn't what he would hear. She doesn't want to work. 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 Of course she's happy. She's not working. Of course she's happy. She's not working. And
I've been trying to help him in his business. I'm trying to get more into the business so I can...
But he doesn't believe right now that the business is enough to support both incomes. He doesn't believe that, and so you can help him all you want. You're still more in the way than you are helping him. He wants you to get out there somewhere else and get money from somewhere else and bring it home. But here's the thing. You want to, and this is subtle and yet really easy to understand. You cannot serve two masters. Pick one and let it be your inner being. Now we want to say that better. Pick one and let it be your own desires. Let it be your vortex. Let it be what you were born to accomplish. Let it be that, because everybody else, we say the same thing to them too. But humans, you keep wanting to say that if you do what's best for you, then you don't do what's best for this family, or you don't do what's best for our checking account. And what we want you all to understand is that when you do find alignment with who you are, and you light up as our friend lighted up, you're in a place of receiving, and he's going to be really glad to know you if he'll just leave you alone and let you attract the way you are able to attract. But if he gets all over your case and makes you feel guilty about what you are not doing, or about how you are not pleasing him, then in that guilty feeling, your point of attraction sucketh. It just does. You just cannot get to where you want to be when you don't feel good. And so it's not the easiest thing, because you keep wanting to not seem like you're as happy as you feel, because it upsets somebody who's not understanding it. So here's what we would say to him if we were standing in your physical shoes. I just can't believe how fortunate I am that I get to be with you, who's continuing on in a meaningful way while I'm finding my place. And I know for sure that this is going to unfold in a way that we are going to thrive. I know that it is. I couldn't feel this good if good things weren't coming. Hang in there with me a little bit. I'm not asking you to be as happy as I am. I want you to be as happy as I am. And I would like to ask you to be happy for me. And I know that's not even a possible thing either. I'm just saying to you, man that I love more than life itself, I'm not going to give up my happy feeling because you can't find it. I'm just not going to give it up. And nothing makes me any happier than when you are happy, but I have to show myself that I don't need your happy for me to be happy. There's something that's really powerful in that for me. And I believe with everything that I am, that if I can maintain this happiness just for a little while, this feeling of well-being, this feeling of clarity, this feeling of strength and certainty, if I can stay there, I will manifest something that will show me in a very emphatic way, and maybe you, because you're in on it with me, how this all works. And then say to him, I'm not saying that what you're doing isn't working. It's obvious. And I am thankful and appreciative of everything that you do. I know that we are together for a reason. I can feel it. I would not give you up for anything unless you get in my way. No, wait, no. I'm reaching for the connection to source that will enhance the experience that I'm loving so much with you. This is not either or. This is us together co-creating. And thank you for what you're doing, and stay tuned, because this is going to be really fun for us. One day we were talking with a mother who was concerned about her son, and we told her some things that we would say, sort of like some of these things. And she said, oh, Abraham, my son will just think I'm forsaking him. He's used to my sympathy and my concern and my agreement with his plight. And he will think that I'm not on his side. And we said, no one would ever feel that way if you are, from the very core of your being, appreciating everything about him. When you look at your family business through the eyes of Source, you feel proud. When you look at your mate through the eyes of Source, you feel so much love and so much appreciation and so thankful for who he is. And when you feel that, he might miss it because he's not in tune with it, but he's not always not in tune with it. He's often in tune with it, and he will feel it. But if you agree with him about the things that he's worried about, then he won't get there. You see what we're getting at? Your inner being is calling you, and right now you're on the move toward it. And when someone's watching someone in physical form who's on the move into vibrational harmony with their own vortex, they get the benefit of watching what happens. You'll be saying all the right things. I'm happy, and listen to what happened today. I'm happy, and oh, this thought occurred to me. I'm happy, and rabbits talked to me in the park. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Don't play these recordings to him. Really, don't let him hear anything that happened here today. He'll just think that this is a place where nuts come, and you're here, and you're a nut, and don't tell him anything. Tell him you've been shopping all day long. Anyway, all is really well with you.
Okay. But one more thing. When all that I'm listening to you, all the YouTube videos, then I came across one that it really touched me because I know that my brother-in-law was very rude, has been very rude with my mother-in-law. And that always bothered me so much. And I guess I was so focused into that particular thing that I brought it into I think that I call it into my own life. And my son
The truck hit your gate, didn't it?
It's so mean to me. I mean, he is so disrespectful.
Doesn't matter.
And then now, before I was like, but why? And I was just like, it was hurting me. But now that I'm like more like, okay, maybe I did that too.
Stop just for a moment. This occurred to Esther the other day. You know how we've been talking about Esther gets her notebook and she writes the name of the segment, and then she just reaches for feeling words that foster in her the feeling that the word implies. She talks about how she loves this and how she appreciates this, and she acknowledges this and this, and she literally sets her own vibrational tone. Well, without meaning to, that's what your story was just doing. It was like a segment in which you were intending future problems with these people. Esther said to herself the other day, so I segment intended 30 times today. And she'll sit, takes about a minute or two for a page. She writes so fast she can't read it later. But it really brings the feeling that she's wanting. And then she turned on television for an hour. And she thought, I wonder if that segment intending too. Watching that, thinking about that, feeling like this. Interesting, isn't it? So when you tell the stories the way that feel good to you, you're segment intending. And the next experience you have with the subjects of that segment will feel good to you. But as you're noticing or remembering the injustices that have come to you, and in the conversation you are setting the tone of that, then isn't it logical that that's the disrespected person that you take into the next segment? So that you do that often enough, somebody who has never disrespected anybody will disrespect you, because that's the vibration you've got going on. You say, don't you love knowing this? Really good time for a segment of refreshment.